Hi there! Welcome to this brief walkthrough of the 360 CTI app. 360 CTI is a telephony app built especially for modern growth-hungry sales teams. And in this walkthrough, we'll look at what 360 CTI is all about and what you can do with it. Let's dive right in. We'll start with our intuitive Softphone. It's where you would go to do a number of things like making and receiving calls, setting up call controls and preferences, and viewing past activity. Let's look at outbound call first. With 360 CTI, you can make outbound calls from anywhere in Salesforce. You can also use 360 CTI's dedicated Softphone for this. You can even choose the country code and number from you want to make outbound calls. Alternatively, you can dial away numbers from any Salesforce records, or you could just make calls from the call log. For convenience, all phone number format are also supported. Let's now move from outgoing calls to incoming calls. As you can see, when incoming calls show up on the Softphone, you can pick them up, reject them, or send them to voicemails. Unknown callers can be automatically saved as leads, contacts, or accounts, which saves time dramatically. And your sales reps can also look up more information by selecting the callers they want from the call log. Naturally, if you are receiving calls or planning to make outgoing calls, your teams of sales agents will want to look up previous interactions. 360 CTI's call activity tracking has you covered here. The app lets you look up details like call duration, recording links, call disposition, incoming number, and call priority as seen here. This is useful when verifying a customer on call or speaking to them about their previous conversation and request. You can also check out the call history and the caller's location simply by checking the caller's details. But 360's call tracking doesn't end there. You're also able to look up call logs for recent outgoing and incoming calls. And when sales agents return from a holiday break, they can always check older calls, disposition and notes, missed calls, and voicemails from customers. 360 CTI also tracks agent activity, call abundant, breaks taken, and categories of breaks. You can later track these categories to see which ones count towards paid working hours. From here, you only need to click anywhere on the calling icons on a record instead of typing out numbers to dial any number. So far, we have seen Softphone, calling, logs, and tracking. But what about call controls to set up how calls are handled? For this, 360 CTI has Softphone settings that let sales agents individually change settings on their Softphones according to preference. They can choose which numbers to make calls from to increase the chances of call pickup. They can also change their activity status for their manager to see when they are away on a break and choose where to forward calls in their absence so that opportunities are not missed. Besides this, they can choose if redirected callers hear a voicemail in a male or female voice or an actual recording of them. Agents can also mute their mics by default, so incoming callers don't have to overhear office chatter when the call is picked up. Once any call ends, callers can choose to take down manual notes on reasons for ending the call or choose one from a drop-down. Now that we have seen essentials like the Softphone and its call controls in detail, let's turn our attention to other features that makes 360 CTI so great for sales teams. For one, 360 CTI comes with a power dialer that lets you create customized list of calling tasks and dial all the numbers one after the other automatically. While the numbers are being dialed, the details of the customer being called are pulled up in a split view. The power dialer saves a significant amount of time otherwise spent navigating to records individually and manually dialing numbers. You are also prompted whether to make the next call, skip it, or break from the call chain entirely while the preview of the next customer is displayed. This prevents you from misdialing customers unintentionally. Next, we have Smart Call Routing. This lets agent transfer, merge, or conference calls with other departments and teams. Sales managers and head can choose to ring sales reps in the queue either parallelly or in a round-robin pattern by changing the routing pattern. Each number can have only one queue. They can also choose whether to notify the main agent using a number or the entire queue. And then you have the all-important interactive voice response or IVR of 360 CTI. What you see here is not just an IVR, its IVR prompts can be configured as deep as you want with just clicks. With each response, you can choose to route the call to a specific queue, user, or personal mobile device. You can even route it to the last communicator or record owner. By routing to the right place, your sales teams can reduce handling time, provide resolutions on the first call, and increase conversion. Configuring this IVR well will also let customers access self-help and qualify sales inquiries before they reach your sales team. You can also create multiple IVRs or redirect from a newly created IVR to a previously configured IVR. And if it's a busy day at the sales floor, you can change the waiting times for sales reps in each calling queue. So you have seen how IVRs and power dials are great for productivity. But what about healthy boundaries? The dark hours or after hours settings in 360 let you choose what happens when the sales teams are done for the day. You can route these calls to a queue of outsourced sales reps or a special mobile number for emergency needs if there are fewer calls after hours. You may also choose if this team is rung on a round robin or a simultaneous ringing format. And finally, what's any business software without performance monitoring and dashboards? While CTI has quick views for agents to see call activities up to the last 30 days, it also allows sales heads and managers to set up custom dashboards to view day-to-day performance numbers in a single glance, such as call volume, call abandonment rate, average call handling time, and total calls handled. And that, friend, is 360 CTI for you. All of the features discussed are not only made to enhance productivities across staple activities of sales teams, but can also be configured completely with just clicks in the CTI setup. This includes everything from routing settings to creating new categories of breaks for sales agents to managing phone numbers and choosing what customer details are displayed to the sales teams. Every visual component you just saw can be configured without any developer assistance. And to sweeten the pot, these features are also available on Salesforce Mobile and Communities, so sales teams can access their CTI on the go and when engaging online forums. With that, you have covered all the great features that 360 sales-centric CTI has to offer. Don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues in sales ops what you saw here. For more assistance, reach out to us at Together, let's hit the sales gong more often.